Well, it's the day after Christmas, and we appreciate you spending some time with us here at the OT on our holiday special. But before you take down the tree, I'm going to decorate mine. I do it a little differently. You know, I'm going to tell you the teams that have the best shot at making the Super Bowl with Christmas ornaments. It only makes sense. So if you guys would please give me my tree, and this is in order, left to right. I'm hanging the Packers ornament down there at the bottom where the little kids can get it, knock it off, down, shatter the glass, that sort of thing. But Green Bay is better than I thought they were. And Jordan Love has played great, and they have earned an invitation to the dance. I do think that I'm staring down the barrel of the Bears being the 2 seed and the Packers being the 7 seed and me being a nervous wreck for a week leading into that game. I just think it's too many injuries at this point for Green Bay. Everyone talks about Micah Parsons, Zach Tom, that matters a ton. We'll see how they look tomorrow against Baltimore. But I think it's too many injuries, and the Road Warriors are not going to get it done with 3 wins on the road for Green Bay to make it to a Super Bowl. Coming up, the next ornament on the tree, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're the champs, and they've got their championship pedigree, and so we expect them to play well. Other than that, it's a lot tougher to make the case for them. Like, the defense looks great, but not against the best teams, and Jalen Hurts is not playing well, and there have been terrible vibes. So if you're telling me they're going to turn it on come postseason time, okay, but you're doing that on the history, not based on what we've seen this season from Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. The next team on the list is the San Francisco 49ers. Put them right there. This is just a who's who of teams that networks would love to see playing in the Super Bowl. Huge fan bases, huge brands. I just think the Niners are one-dimensional. Like, my theory on the Niners heading into this game is their defense is not nearly as good as their overall scoring rankings show.
I agree.
Their pass rush is bad. Their pass defense is bad. They have so many injuries. They just haven't played good offenses. So I expect this game they might win it, but I think you need at least 30 in order to win this game. So I don't think their defense is good enough to go on a run. I can't believe they still have a shot at the 1 seed. The Jacksonville Jaguars make my tree.
Yeah.
And I understand why Duval might think this is disrespectful. But again, I'm doing this left to right. So we're going to put 12 up here on the board. You come in around what? 12, 11, 10, 9? You come in around 9? You're the hottest team arguably in football.
Right now.
Trevor Lawrence is playing the best football of his life. Maybe if it's like, hey, who's going to beat Josh Allen's A game? Maybe Trevor Lawrence can do it. But I still need to see it in the postseason consistently. Call me late to the party. Don't invite me to the parade. At least you're on the tree.
You're wild.
Coming up, the Houston Texans. I considered putting them higher, and I have no confidence in C.J. Stroud whatsoever. But I am just so positive that the Texans have the best defense in football.
They do.
Their secondary is ridiculous. Their pass rush is ridiculous. The quality of the opponents that they've played is incredible. Like, they are battle-tested with playoff teams. No one scores over 21 against this team. C.J. Stroud just needs to be average. And I got questions about whether or not he can be average, but I'll tell you this. Every team in the AFC, who would you at least like to play? My guess is it's the Houston Texans because they are the most sure thing. Their defense is going to show up, and their defense is going to make life miserable. Let's go a little higher on the tree.
Okay, where are we going?
The one where the pets can't knock off the ornaments with their tail wagging a little bit. The Denver Broncos. A similar defense to the Houston Texans, but what are they going to have? Because of luck, because of schedule, because of weird quirks, it's overwhelmingly likely you're going to have to play at Mile High. So that's one fewer game where they're going to be vulnerable to an upset. And if I believe in magic for the Bears, I have to be open to the possibility that magic exists for the Broncos. Do I like that they play down to the Raiders and the Jets and the Giants and the Commanders and Chris Olajuwon? No, I don't. I don't love it. But their defense is excellent. They'll be at home. They're clutch, and they clearly believe. So I've got the Denver Broncos on the tree. Right next to them, their division rival, who still can win the AFC West, by the way, the Los Angeles Chargers, and my guy, Justin Herbert. We talk about the Bills. Well, they can win because Josh Allen can just put a team on his back. I think we should talk about Justin Herbert in the exact same way. And people will say, well, he hasn't done it in the postseason. Okay, I watch the games. He's as good. So their pass defense is excellent. Their coach is a winner. This year, they've got the best kicker in football. Hampton is back healthy, which with their offensive line is mitigated a little bit. Ladd McConkey and Herbert seem to be getting back into a little bit of a rhythm. So I think Herbert and that defense and that special teams is a good placement. Center, right in the center.
Yeah.
It's an eye-catching ornament.
Everybody can see it.
They got those blue uniforms, those baby blues that I like so much.
Love them.
A little bit of a better shot, though, the New England Patriots. Drake May has been Superman, like the coach, tad overrated. Tad. Just wouldn't give him Coach of the Year, doesn't deserve to be the favorite, but very good coach. Drake May has been incredible, have a shot at the 1 seed. I think their strength of schedule and the quality of opponents that they've beaten is legitimately a concern. They'll get a shot to prove it.
Yeah.
We're going to get to see if this is a team that is good or great already. I think their quarterback is great already and the team is good, but again, they got a shot at the 1 seed still as well, and they're going to get a chance to prove it. We go up one more rung on the tree, and I'll give you my Chicago Bears.
Oh.
Now,
what are we?
There is magic here, Willie. If you give me magic, I saw angels in the outfield. It worked well.
Is that what we got?
It worked well for the team that had magic on their side. No, but Caleb Williams was awesome in the second half 3 weeks ago against the Packers before the interception. Then he was incredible for the whole game against the Browns. Then he was great late in this game against the Packers. There have been stretches of football the last 3 weeks where Caleb Williams has been the best on the field. Their defense takes the ball away. Their coach is incredible. And there's a legitimate shot that they're hosting at least one, if not multiple playoff games in the Windy City, in the cold, in Chicago. They got a real shot with their run game to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Coming up, the Buffalo Bills. This one's easy. This is the logic you're going to hear. Yeah, their defense is flawed. Yeah, you can run on them. Sure, there's some questions about their coach in a big spot, but they have Josh Allen. If you have the best player in the sport playing at the peak of his powers, and he can run and throw, and he's got great tight ends, a great offensive line, and the guy in James Cook who's going to win the rushing title this year, they can just win time of possession, keep their defense off the field, have long drives, and score touchdowns and execute in the red zone. So I really do think the Bills' offense makes them the favorite coming out of the AFC. Right next to them, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I had them as the top team in Top 10 Tuesday, and so you can say, how are they not the number 1 team here? In the postseason, if I'm flipping a coin and the game was in Seattle, I'll take the Rams as the road team. So we can just reveal the team at the top of the tree. Seattle and the Rams are very close. They are excellent rosters. They have excellent coaches. They have superstar talents. The point differential is better for Seattle, but the Rams beat them in some categories. The Seahawks beat them in some categories. But tie goes to the MVP at quarterback over Sam Darnold. It's that simple. When they played each other twice this year, they were separated by 1 yard and 1 point, and Seattle had 7 turnovers to the Rams 1. So that would say that Seattle's better. But in a playoff spot, I'll take the guy who almost won in Philadelphia last year and who's won a Super Bowl in Matt Stafford. So Matt Stafford and the Rams sit atop my 12 teams of Christmas. Coach, I assume you would agree, perfect tree?
It's a beautiful tree, and one of the things that's so unique about Christmas trees is that everybody can kind of put their ornaments where they like them. And this season, to me, more than any other season, that there's so much possibility for any team to run away with it. But I'm going to move Philadelphia up. And when we won our first Super Bowl in New England, the following season we ended up going 9-7. We started very, very good, and then we had an up and down year, and people were wondering what was wrong with us. So we finished 9-7, the Jets finished 9-7, and the Dolphins finished 9-7, and the Jets won because of a tiebreaker, and they went to the playoffs. But I really believe if we had gotten into the playoffs that year, we would have won the Super Bowl. Now, we won the Super Bowl the following 2 seasons. I think we could have done it 4 in a row, but what we didn't get the opportunity to get in. And I feel the same way about Philadelphia is they've got their stars. Their stars are essentially healthy. They've shown that they can play in big moments, and as much dysfunction as there's been this season, with a lot of it being self-inflicted and a lot of it being created by frustration with A.J. Brown not getting the ball, all those things, I feel that the strength of their experience and the fact that they're relatively healthy at the star position makes them as dangerous as anybody, and they should be much further up the tree.
I said it when I hung the ornament. I cannot argue against the playoff pedigree and the playoff experience. I would just like to see more stretches of dominance from this version of the Philadelphia Eagles. Willie, perfect tree?
Well, first and foremost, I feel some type of disrespect. I'm looking at my Steelers down at the bottom just hugging the carpet. They deserve
on the kids' tree.
They deserve to be on somebody's tree. Obviously not on Danny's tree.
On the kids' tree.
But for me, when we talk about magical runs and we're talking about teams who seem like they're destined for a long run in January, I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? And since they acquired Jacoby Myers, this offense has elevated. Trevor Lawrence has jumped off the tape. And they had a signature win in Denver. And when you talk about what Trevor Lawrence has done week after week, he's just gotten better. We talk about the big win against the Chiefs they had early in the year. So when you put together everything they've done this season, all they have ever done is just won in dominant fashion with their defense and Trevor Lawrence stand up in clutch situations. So as much as I love your Bears there, Danny, I would love to see the Jacksonville Jaguars up there right underneath that star. I think they're destined, especially if you talk about magical rides. It seems like the Jacksonville Jaguars are on a magical ride themselves.
Listen, I thought what they did against Denver was very impressive. Going into Denver, I give them a ton of credit for that. I gave Liam Cohen my nod for Coach of the Year over Ben Johnson.
You did do that.
Because he took a guy who's 5 years into the league and turned him around in 1 year, whereas I think Caleb Williams was inevitable. Though I am very thankful for Ben Johnson. But I call it preconceived bias. I need to see Trevor Lawrence do it with some degree of consistency against good teams. Can he beat some good teams? I know he beat the Chargers handily, but other than that, I'd like to see him do it consistently. But hey, he's the hottest quarterback in football, man.
By far.
He's the hottest quarterback in football, and maybe he's going to carry it all. And he's, by the way, Travis Etienne, they're running the ball too. Like their offense is firing on all cylinders.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.